you stupid cunt. Said, who's this? I said, my name's Rob Clark, live at 83 Stratford Avenue, CV9, 2am for your sat-nav. He said, right, I'm coming up there now. I said, right, leave her mum then, just come up here then. You know where I'm at. Anyway, true to his word, 10 minutes later, bang, 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 on the door. Mum's like, Robert, there's a big black man, I just opened the windows at the door.
Thanks for joining me, good people. This is the start in my new series where we do in-depth interviews with normal people and hardened criminals alike. Today I'm taking you back into the motherland, a town called Atherstone, and we're going to link up with Rob Clark, who is one of the two Clark brothers. It's more than fair to say has got a reputation in my hometown as a hardened criminal. Rob's going to take us on a walking tour through Atherstone, the hometown, tell us a few stories and let us know what he's got going on. I'll let Rob take it from there.
What's happening, Rollo? How do you want it, baby?
State your name.
Name's Rob Clark, man. A-Town legend, you know the one.
Yeah.
Bang bang ATM gang, you know
What we've got going on today, Rob?
What we've got going on here is I've got my man Roller. He's blessed me up with this documentary and I weren't even going to speak to anybody else. But you see, Roller, I've knew my man for years. That's the only reason it's the green light to go. Apart from that, I'm going to give it the raw, I'm going to break it down like I'm working with fractions. But I want to add as well, I'm a reformed character now, man. Like, man's come out the other end. Man's been shot, stabbed, everything, man. But man's still here. The blood's still warm that courses through my veins, TCB Clark brothers. But I'm a reformed character now, man. I just want to shed a bit of light on some things and let the people know what really went on. They'd all love to know. So today you're going to have an insight into the life of the Clark brothers, man. Alright?
Fuck it, it's an honour to fucking have you, man.
Hey, listen,
we're going to take it right from the start, but before we get into that, we've got some meat in the bag, we've got a little barbecue, we're going to get some cooking.
Is that what you're telling me about? Man's nice. So we're going to get a little bit of food on, man, do a little bit of an interview and that.
And then later on in the video, we're going to go on a bit of a walk and talk.
We're going to do a little tour around the ends what we've owned and conquered for many a years. I'll take you around our base camp, 183 Stratford Avenue, where many battles went off, many battles. We'll show you where our dogs are buried. We had dogs in that who have been involved in attempted murders with us and that, man, and on doggy death row. Beat the case back home after body weight. Fed up to fighting fitness. We'll show you where they're laid to rest. Also, we'll show you where our mother, rest in peace, it's a year since she died tomorrow.
Oh,
so,
wow, fucking
you know, also, this is for our mum as well.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, yeah, thank you, and we'll crack on from here, yeah?
Awesome.
Done, man.
Oh, before you come on set, you pass me a burn.
Yeah, of course, look.
Blast.
You got the light, haven't you, my man, yeah?
You've been
You're
jacked
going
on
to
cam.
tend to the bar.
Hey, yeah, you're doing it on cam. Bang, bang, Rollo, you know. Man's come through proper, he's come through correct. My man's come through frosting the burgers, sausages, he's come with a smoke. Man, he's come with a cam. My man's banging, bro.
I've got to look after people, man.
Man, Roller, you do nothing but that, and that's why,
yeah.
bro, you're the man who's got exclusive rights to this, bro.
Thank
You're
you,
the first man. You see what, bro? I hate to say this, my brother, but I'm like a virgin to you right now, bro. You're deflowering, man, on cam, fam. No homo, rude boy. I'll take you to a brothel if you want to bust a barrel of your 38, so don't worry, it ain't that thing. But what I'm saying is, bro, you're getting it fresh off the press. You're like, you know where you get the keys from abroad, bro, and they've got the rubber jackets on. Like, you don't buy a kilo, man, if it ain't got the rubber jacket on it, bro. And it ain't got no seams on either. Because obviously, every key what comes from abroad, it's like they're coming loads of packaging, but they've got a rubber jacket on with no seams, and that's so if you have to throw them off a boat, they're waterproof. And on top of that, you also know if anyone's tampered with it, 'cause it's not got no seams on. So someone's got to slice that motherfucker open. If the rubber jacket's missing or it's got any blemishes or cuts on it, that key's going back. That's no good to man the beast. You're like that, bro. You're fresh off the boat.
Yeah, I like that.
You get me? Fresh off the boat.
What did you want to be as a kid? Did you have anything like that? Because I was saying to you earlier about how I had the visions of being a director.
Well, do you know what I had? I knew I was going to be a good knife man later on in life. Our dad, yeah, he used to be a market. He used to do markets. He used to have a shop down in Hereford at the cattle market. What he used to do is we'd do the Hereford on Friday afternoon and Saturday, and then we'd travel down to Cardiff, and it was a place called Splot Market in Cardiff, and there was a guy called Bronk owned it, and it was gutter at the time. We had to stay there on the Saturday night. My dad kept it was like a little mini, it was like a 410, I don't know what it was, but he had a proper shotgun behind the seats, my old boy did. And I was a kid, I was like 4 at the time. And anyway, I used to go down and do the markets with him. We had a shop in Hereford at the cattle market, like I said. And then on the Sunday we went to Spot Market. But anyway, we had to stay in the van overnight on a Saturday, and there was a pub on site and it was gutter. And my dad used to keep a shotgun behind it, and he used to sell, like, he had the best store ever there. It was like spanners, chainsaws, drills, socket sets, all garden stuff. Like, man was smashing
hardware,
it.
outdoor kind
yeah,
of place.
big Arctic truck, bro. We was unloading trays of spanners and all that, bro. Anyway, my dad created a little store on the end of it, and he called it the Pan Store. Because I was only 4 years old, he just put like random screwdrivers and spanners and all that, bro, on it, yeah. And he was like, right, everything's a pound, Rob. So you stand on this crate here. This is the bucket you put your money in. Everything's a pound. You see any cunt robbing, shout me, or there's a tray of knives underneath the store. Just grab one of them and get to work, Rob, or just shout me and we'll come and fuck them up. I said, all right, Dad. Anyway, at 4 years of age, I was doing like 500-600 quid in single items in a day. My dad used to bust me off £7 out of that. To me, at 4 years of age, I'm like, I'm all the way up. That's what, 100p a day for every day of the week. Man's all the way up with 7 quid. And he used to stop at the anyway, what I'm going to tell you about the knives is he had the trays of knives. He said, Rob, don't sell them to anybody. Make sure they look dodgy out and that, and then just say, oh, I've got some under the counter knives. And he had loads of sick knives, and I always used to nick one of each. One of each knife at 4 years of age. I used to nick one of each. I had a right knife collection, bro. I was coming up the woods stabbing trees on that, man.
You had a fascination with weapons.
Oh, from the get-go. From 4 years of age, mate, I had about 15 knives, brand new. And that's because I took one of each from my dad's market, yeah. And then always, you know, I always loved knives. That's my brother, man. My brother will tell you, man, he's coming soon, man. You know the one, Clark Brothers, man. But, you know, I always had a fascination with knives. And that's why I was so good in the knife fights later on in life. People couldn't deal with me, bro. We're having a knife on knife. I'm moving like fucking Neo in the Matrix, bro. It only takes one of them. I mean, look at that in my leg. It's a knife wound here, bro. This is a proper knife wound.
We'll do a breakdown of all your scars later, right?
Yeah, we'll do that, man, but that's straight in there, out there, man. That's a little something.
As I want to build up to it, but what I was going to ask is, people don't start out as hardened criminals, so maybe in the early days, what kind of crimes was it that you were into? And
well, you brought up an interesting point here, man. Like, see, when I was young, yeah, my granddad Mick, right, on my mum's side, he was a boxer. We got mad amounts of medals and all that, right, but he was a lovely man who didn't tolerate swearing, weren't no criminal. My man, when he went out for a drink in the pub, he was in a 3-piece fucking suit, mate, with a pocket watch and a silk handkerchief. Like, my man worked at the pit, worked his arse off his whole life, and he trained people in the army, bro. Right, he was actually a boxing trainer in the army. And what he done was he come out and then he got into the boxing, right? And then he said to me, oi, Rob, if you want to be a boxer, you got the build for it. Ever since I was a kid. He said, Rob, I can just tell you got the shoulders and that. He said, get into it like me. So he spoke to Gaz Jackson at the boxing gym. And shout out Danny Murray, he's dead now as well. Rest in peace, yeah. Dan. Like, hope his family's all good.
Note, my dad used to work with Gaz Jackson, so...
Yeah, and Gaz Jackson, man, he owned the boxing gym, yeah? And down on the, it was like just past the back way, man. Like next to the Dave's gym, which is a relation of mine, David's as well.
There was a building where Aldi is, it got knocked down.
Yeah, well, Aldi weren't there at the beginning, but that was the building. Yeah. No, that's what you're, you're right. And anyway, Danny Murray's come and got me after my dad and mum spoke to him about it, and my granddad suggested me to Gaz. So Danny Murray's come around, knocked on the door. I was like 10, 11 at the time. And I couldn't get in because of my age, so my dad and Danny and my granddad and everyone had a word with Gaz. And he said, look, he can come in and train, but he can't qualify until I think it was 11, 12. And anyway, I went down there and I was just knocking big guys out, bro. I don't know what it was. The second I went in, I was at home. My dad and even my granddad come to watch me a couple of times. So from an early age at school, I always wanted to be a boxer. I always imagine when I'm older, I'll get to fight Mike Tyson, man, even though he's like my idol and that. If you're going to fight someone good. You want the best, you want the cream of the crop. There's no point running around banging little batty boys, is there?
No.
Like, you want them man who are going to give you a good run for your money, and when you're standing over and victorious at the end, you know you've worked for it, baby. And but yeah, my granddad and all that always inspired me, man. Like, with the boxing. But I was at school, I was always clever at school, man. Something I can say. At school, I weren't no dickhead. Like, you see, the only ones I weren't top of the class in, I was in all the top classes and that. Like, with mans like Craig Elliott and Robert Hammond and, you know, even Paul Fullilove was in there and all them. And even though, you know, they weren't as sharp as man, that was the top class, you know what I'm saying? And I was in it with them. And it was only French and German, and that's because my dad always said, Rob, I know you're an 8th German, but fuck that, do you want to go over to Germany when you can go to fucking Spain or something and have sun in your face? What, do you want to go over there, man, and have a load of miserable looking motherfuckers? Even though, like, you're an 8th German, Rob, I'd just go to the sunny countries if I was you. Go and grab some of them Spaniards, Rob. I'm like, yeah. Anyway, so I was only shit at French and German. And I loved science until I got kicked out.
Give the meat a flick if you can, bro.
Yeah, man. Fucking hell, I'm your personal chef.
Oh, I can get on it if you want, bro.
No, man, I'm on it, bro. Where's the tool, bro? What should I use, man?
I've just been fucking bare-handing.
Bare-handing it, my buddy,
you
yeah?
should be unstuck now.
Alright, come on then, my man. Oh, listen, yeah, do you know how much, bro, like, I've dealt with these fingers, bro? Heat's not a problem, man. I know, yeah. Oh, that did actually burn, even though my hands are qualified. Come on, man, let's. Oh, listen, yeah, just for the sake of only use this.
There you go, that's it.
That actually brought, you know what I'm saying, bro? Trust, bro, hygiene's at an all-time high here, Ollie, you get me? Trust me.
No big stinkers around here much.
Trust me, lad. Trust me, you got to gently do it though, the skin's flying.
A brand new office.
Oh yeah, there we go.
Fuck it. Yeah, look, my brother, hey, shout out my brother Sham, you know.
The off-camera assistant.
That's my right arm there.
Shout out, brother.
Hey, what you on about? If I ain't got it, he has, trust me.
That's it.
Real talk on our mother.
We've got the brother shit right
believe that to the death. You know, when me and Sham die, and you'll see him soon, you know, on his solo interview and all that, right? And we're going to do like a double documentary on it with the Clark brothers and that, yeah? But like, you see with my brother, yeah? Like, when we die, we've agreed we ain't getting cremated or nothing. We're both going in the same fucking grave and we're having bunk beds. So me and him keep arguing. I bet you I'm the one who's on the top though. I bet you. I'm like, nah, bro, you're going to be the one on the bottom, bro. I want to be on the top bunk, bro. Yeah? And we have a giggle about it. And it's because even in the afterlife, we need to be together, man. Can't bust us up, man. You're mad. I know everything we've fucking been through. You see these little fairies round here? Makes me fucking giggle, man. They're all batty boys. You know when their door gets booted off, bro? Room sweep, crowd control. Right, who's on crowd control? Get my mans, get them in the corner. Right, get the tools together. Right, run the jewels. Where's the big bits? Come on, girls.
It's
they
all
cry
an
like
organised
babies, man.
operation, yeah.
Yeah, but the thing is, there's something I want to say. I'm only talking about this, yeah? Right.
Back to the store, Paul.
Listen, I'm only talking about this, yeah? Is that even at me? It looks like you're looking past me, my brother, right? And yeah, but the thing is, what I'm going to say is, you see why I can talk mad about all that? Because there was fucking drug dealers who were selling to kids and that, right? I know man's have moved food and that before, right? But we never sold to no kids or nothing, you know? Allegedly, like, if we ever did sell, you know, I'm not saying we did, but I'm sure you people know you ain't no dickheads.
So,
you know,
how I know Rob is I'm quite familiar with him. I was running around town doing my bits, and I'll say this, he was always very cordial with me. He was just a nice fella that you see, say hello to. Only the one time he did press me, he just said, you've been on my street doing your thing for about a year now, you've not come and fucking said hello or nothing.
Can't believe it, bro.
And I've explained the reason for it, you know, you understand why, but like, at the time I just didn't want to be going around where, you know, it's a very hot yard and that.
Right,
I had some eyes on me, reporting back to my ma and pa, you know, I didn't want to be hanging around.
I can certify this with Oliver as well, yeah, and our mum died last year, man, and it's a year tomorrow, on April the 27th that our mum died, right? And I can honestly say this, man, right? So shout out our mum, yeah? And but you know what? Man's had to pay fucking insurance. If man's wanted to operate on any streets, they had to abide by the rules and regulations which we created, the terms and conditions of the contract. If you was not insured on these roads, mate, you'd be on the back of a recovery truck with your hazards flashing on the way to the scrapyard, mate. No good to man the beast. So if that didn't happen, your door's on the floor. But you see, Rivolla, like, my man was a good man and he had a good friend, I won't mention his name, but he had a good friend, man, who lived nearby. And he was a fucking good-hearted lad as well. And I used to have loads of conversations with my brother, like, yo, you know...
They knew what was going on.
Let's get the insurance in off, man.
I was actually confronted, by, not confronted, but Chris popped round one day and he says, brother, he's growing weed. And I was like, because we just pulled it down, we're like, nah, like, you know what I mean? Obviously, you're just trying to protect your assets.
His nose twitched
but
like
they knew,
witch, bro.
and nothing, you know, they left us alone. So as I've mentioned this to you, I said, you're just like a nice fella. And he says, yeah, well, the police have described me a certain way. And I loved how the acronym that he gave for it.
What, the O.D.C one? They call me an ordinary decent criminal. And you see, Roller, there's something I want to bring up here, man, because you see what, right? My man took the time to do this, bro, yeah? And I love this, man. See this? Look at this shit. See, Roller, he kills it with it, look. TCB. Clark Brothers. O.D.C, as he's referring to.
Ordinary, decent criminal.
And the reason for that is, and then you see the robber fella, man.
So give him the meaning for that one as well.
Well,
so
I'll break that down first, man. Right, the meaning with that, yeah, is the police, when they used to arrest me, they used to say, Rob, you know what? Like, we know about you. Everybody screams about you everywhere. You've shut more drug dealers down in this area and surrounding areas, you and your brother and your team, than us. I'm like, lads, I don't know whether to take that as a compliment. I would say, where's my wages? But that'd make me an informer or a pig cunt like you lot. So therefore, no, thank you, I appreciate the compliment. But anyway, moving on, what am I charged for? Let's hurry up, girls, let's get in and out. But what they called me is an ordinary decent criminal. They said, Rob, you're not a bad lad. Like, you know, you've always worked legally on and off. And things like that. I worked for my dad's company doing the ponds and stuff like that, making the holding tanks and that. And rest in peace, our dad as well. And we used to make the holding tanks and deliver those all around the country, man. And so I was always working in the background, but I always wanted more, man. And they said, look, you're an ordinary decent criminal. I'm like, what are you on about? It's like, because you're only a danger to people who are like gangsters or drug dealers or a criminal. You're not a danger to the general public. I said, I know. I was going to say that anyway, boys. I'll help your fucking grandma over the road with the shopping. But you see, if you're a guy who's holding a lot of grub, you've got big bits around you. Not being funny, I'm conversating with our kid and it's like, all right, you know, you boot the door off, I went in and that's it, crowd control. We're here to relieve you of your goods, you're not insured, you're operating in uncharted territories. You know, my pockets. Sham, your pockets got any money in off these guys? No? No? My pockets ain't either. Right, boys, where's the money? Where's the food? And that's because they couldn't phone the police. And a lot of them was selling, coming from out of town and coming into this town, selling to kids and what they call country. Do you know what we say in response to that?
We don't like
bandit country, boy.
Don't like country.
You're calling it country? You think we're riding around on fucking combine harvesters around here, mate? You crazy, bro. Like, you know, that's it. The door would be off, man. You know, we'd get to work, relieve them of their goods, tell them, give them a good pounding, whatever, a little bit of a cutting, whatever they needed, a little hammer. You know, whatever the Pacific person at the time required. And that was it, just to let them know you can't come round here from Birmingham and Coventry and sell round here. You're waiting to send in runners outside schools and all that. There's one thing about us, even when we used to relieve these men of their goods, right? We didn't sell them to little kids or anything like that, you know, allegedly. We didn't sell them to like fucking little kids or man. We were selling them to people who are fucking junky cunts since we were kids. You know, and it's like, even with like the grows and stuff like that, a lot of grows were done and all that. Roller's patterning the food here, look. And a lot of grows was done, whether it was growed by one of us, allegedly, or we had to boot doors off and we'd take your grow. Well, there's plenty of grows, man, around here. You know that factory and... Yeah, man, you know when you boot the fucking doors up, boy, you see that crowbar here you've got on here, look, I love that, you see that? I was like,
that's for effect, innit? So you've got to have a way of getting in, ain't you?
Yeah, but your seventh chakra's open, that third eye is wide open like you've had a line of yayo, bro. You've come, done that figure and you got the crowbar, handy bit of kit, mate. Remember my brother blessed us with a see what, we was pissed off here, keep fucking hammers and crowbars up, right? So I said to my brother, we need one of them proper big cunts, man. So I'll leave it with me, I'll go and grab us one.
I might start a custom crowbar business, innit?
Mate.
Call it Steve Crowbar.
Oh, you ever seen them drains? What's on the street? Clark Steel, mate.
Clark Steel, yeah.
You ever seen them, bro?
No.
You know them land drains, bro? What the council put down, bro? You know where you check up to the sewer?
Yeah, yeah.
You ever seen, bro, on the metal lids, Clark Steel on all of them?
I realise it now, innit?
You understand?
Grill
right?
bar.
And the bar was on about, see, that's my brother there, you can hear, obviously, that's my young blood champ. I fucking love my brother, nothing but shout out that man. He's been my right arm from day dot.
Yeah.
I had that lad in on my first caution ever, like, but it was awesome. But anyway, the crowbar, it was a bit, I said, come on man, get us a better one. He's got this big, come back, one day, fucking taller than him, bro. Like, and it was the opposite way. And you could just put it under shutters, bro.
Or did it have
it was the opposite way where...
It was flat, it was one way you could
just a straight bar, yeah.
Against the door and prise.
You get me, literally. You could put it up, bro, crack any shutters, yeah? Get to the door, it don't matter if it's a safety door or anything.
It's the same what the Popo used.
Yeah, that's it. Youngblood's got it bang on.
Bit of kit, yeah.
You get me, but anyway, then all of a sudden it was like open sesame, bro.
Yeah.
Like, you know, it's lovely when you crack a door, bro, and you're shining your torch, and all you can see is you know, the heads, bro.
So maybe tell us about one of the greatest heists that you
right.
You know, you pulled
greatest
off.
heist. Oh, right. Tell me in which area. Yeah, like what? As in like robbing dealers,
maybe
or
like
robbing
goods.
bros.
I'm on about loot, like something, you know.
Cash.
Nice, yeah.
Right. Do you know what the best one was? I'm going to tell you why crime can be bad as well. You know how it might sound like I'm talking about. Yeah, you know, this crime's good, that crime's good. I've got a story as well about a mate who put us onto a dealer once, but I'll move on to that, yeah. It like the most money I had over £500,000 in gold coins. Right? In our infinite wisdom, yeah, because we was only like 14 at the time. Right? 14 years of age, bro. But on top of that, yeah, there's £500,000 in these rare gold coins, yo. Look like extra large pound coins, bro. But there was solid mad like mad gold, yeah. And there was bare of them in this mad folder what we got out of the safe, yeah. And it was down at Witherley, that was actually. And we went down there and I got loads of ruby rings, bro, and emerald rings and that. And there was about 4 or 5 of us who went in. There was, allegedly, there was like Zed there, who was to do with a digger through the bank, which I weren't involved in that one. He got caught for that, you know, that's his problem, you know, so he's got to ride that. And but anyway, we got like, I got this folder, bro. I didn't even know at the time, I had over £500,000 worth of gold in it, bro, yeah. And then there was loads of ruby and emerald rings from back in the day, yeah, so it was about 600 grand.
How did this end up for you?
Right, well, this didn't go very well, and the reason is this. I got a couple of grand out of it, but mate, it went peak tongue, right? What it was, yeah, there was me allegedly, well, it was all, we all got caught, well, they got caught for it and now I managed to get out, but there was me, Jay McLean, so it's all documented. Me, Jay McLean, Dame Foster, there was a couple of others from what we had as a glue gang at the time, and people called us the glue gang because they said you lot are always together, you stick together. So, but yeah, anyway, I said to them, I sold all these rings and all that, right? I got a decent couple of grand out of it for that. And it's like, right, man, what are we gonna do with these coins? Well, them lot was like, oh, let's chuck it in the bank and I'll exchange it. I was only 14 years of age, didn't even know what it was worth. Them man have walked in with me, bro, to take it in. Handed the folder, the coins, I don't know why they'd done it. I was pissed off about it. I said, fuck that. So I was hanging back thinking, this ain't gonna go well here, you get me? So I stood near the door. But we was in the bank, yeah, and all of a sudden, man, alarm went off. Old Bill went in. There was like, wait a minute, we're just evaluating them. They was already notified of it, yeah. And anyway, all of a sudden the alarm's gone off, and the old Bill ran in. After about 10 minutes of them waiting, and I'm in the doorway. Anyway, they've ran in, yeah. And I'm in the doorway, bare coppers, bro, in there. Grabbed us all, yeah. Got us all, right, we got searched up, but I slipped to the side while I was in the queue. And I managed to get out the bank in the middle of Atherstone. It was the one opposite Dillon's. I think it's Lloyd's or something. Like that one, you know, Dillon's in the town. You know how you got the red line
the
next to it?
green one, it's got the banner on it.
It's opposite.
It's
Is it Lloyd's, Sham?
Yeah,
my brother's just verified that. It was Lloyd's, yeah. And anyway, when the police are rushed in, they've got us in a line. I remember Dame Foster crying, man, because he had a quarter of a draw in him. He was like, please, I'm getting arrested. If my dad finds out, he's going to kill me. I was laughing my face off like, you mug. But anyway, but Dame's a good lad, man. But that was funny. And anyway, I slipped out, yeah, and I managed to run through the town. And I got away. And the coppers said to me after, when they nicked me for conspiring to arm Rob and something else, they turned around and said, Rob, do you know on the black market, you had over 500 grand's worth of coins. We know it was you in the bank, Rob, because we've seen you on the CCTV and our officers seen you. But we didn't get a chance to search you and we couldn't prove you handed any folder over. I said, because I didn't. If you said you got cameras, you know.
So as kids,
and he said, Rob, that was over.
Gold?
14 years of age.
You didn't realise it was gold in the coins?
We just thought there was rare coins.
Wow, yeah.
Over $500,000, my brother, real talk, man. It was in the paper and that. And anyway, the old Bill, they said, "Right, we got you on camera there, Rob, and that. But because we didn't actually see you handed no folder over, or we didn't catch you to search you, like, you know, but Rob, you had over £500,000 in gold coins there." And
there was other charges that you caught as a child that you were talking about. There was one involving firearms.
Yeah, well, this is what happened, man. I could talk about this as well properly because I actually went on remanded only for it. What happened was, me and my mate Zed, like, you know, the one I told you about with the bank thing and all that, right? And he got 18.5 years for shooting at the cop car, man, with a Mac 10 out the window. And he got, like, you know, he had to do quite a few years, man. But anyway, me and him, yeah, was like, rah, you know, we're coming of age now. I was about 15 at the time, yeah. It was like, rah, we're coming of age here. We need some fucking burners, mate. No, we need some of these machines. You see these cunts and all that, man, like, from the cities and shit. Like, they've all got mashes and that. We need to get some. And anyway, it was like, well, where's there going to be any around here? Well, up the Coleshill Road, man, there was a cottage. I could talk about this because, you know, it got dealt with and that. And there was a cottage. And we knew the gamekeepers. And it was the Dugdales, man, you know, like, because of the gamekeepers, Roller.
Yeah, man.
And what it was like, rah, we're going to go and, you know, get their fucking burners and that. So anyway, a cottage got touched on the Coleshill Road. A couple of guns got took out of there. Being a sawn-off shotgun. The police reckon that we had a bolt-action rifle as well, which I don't know why they imagine. You know, apparently cracked the castle on Stratford Avenue, which I'll show you later on. But yeah, we got some whaps and that. And then allegedly went and done a couple of armed robberies with them, got a bit of bread. And then the police seen us scoping out certain places. Then they seen us on CCTV where we was doing our own surveillance on certain places, like, raw, I wonder what they got in the safe for. They got enough, you know, whatever we need at the time, like, you know, is it worth running in there? So they seen us on cam. And then all of a sudden it got around about these burners. And all of a sudden I got nicked for possession of a firearm, like, you know, and as I was walking down to a place where we'd stashed stuff, you know, allegedly I'm gonna, you know, well, it ain't allegedly at all, this is facts. And I'd gone down to it was near the weir, you know, in Manchester, brother.
Yeah.
Right. And yeah, it was down there, we had it stashed down there. Anyway, because I was a kid, I had my prints all over it. So when we was doing it, it was like, no cunt's gonna get these. Anyway, it was only 14, 15, whatever it was. And then, so my prints were all over it. As I've gone down to get it, all of a sudden I've heard the bushes rustle. It's private property, by the way. And all of a sudden I've heard the bushes rustle as I'm getting near it. All of a sudden, bare feds jumped out, chase, man. I couldn't get away. I was zigzagging, tucking and rolling, and that. There's no way I could have got out of it. And they'd got me, and then there was like, your prints are all over the firearm what's hidden here in this property. I said, how do you know that? Like, you boys are quick, man. Your Inspector Gadget kit's going rapid now. Like, you've done it in 10 seconds. How do you know this? And then they got me back to the police station, and they was like, right, we had information that the gun was hidden here. Well, it was only my code here who knew about that. He said, if you can hear me now, you crafty little cunt. You crafty bastard. But you know what? He was my boy. And I'll forgive him for it now. Even though we had situations where, you know, authority had to be shown.
I guess he sharpened up a bit after that.
Mate, straight away kicked in like Drake, 0 to 100 real quick, bro. All of a sudden now we can talk. You know, you're being respectful, now we can get back to the drawing board. But I ain't seen him since he got out of pen.
Took a little food break here, dealt with the barbecue, and after this we took a walk down onto Stratford Avenue.
This is the street where the base of operations was. And it weren't only just my mate here's base of operation. I won't point out the exact house, but somewhere here was also my base of operation. Up here for a good year, doing my thing. Meeting people up on the cover. What? Alright.
Stratford Avenue. This place was under manor for many years, man. You're mad. Man lived here for like 39 years of his life. Me and my brother had this place.
Might go as far as to say it was your street.
And surrounding streets, bro. You know, it's a fucking hell, bro. But yeah, Stratford Avenue, man. This is where I'm raised, bro. You know how many times I walked out in and out of this street from when I was a kid, when my mum was holding my hand. I weren't allowed to have to garden on my own.
This was like the end of the Shire.
You know what I'm saying, my man?
If I take one more step, it'll be the farthest away from home I've ever been.
Right, that's why down the Coastal Road, that's why when the police nicked me and all that, there was like, oh, Rob, we've had intel from several sources that you're the biggest courier of Class A drugs Atherstone's ever seen, and you get it in via the Coastal Road. Well, I don't know if it's because it was, you know, appropriate to do so on the Coastal Road. That's the only thing I can think they suggested such a thing. But yeah, you know, Stratford Avenue, man. Let's move
You're
on,
actually
bro.
able to show us the house, ain't you?
Yeah, man, I want to show you
So
the house,
apparently
bro.
it's unoccupied.
Yeah, I'll show you where Reggie's fucking buried, and my brother's dog, Troy. Like I say, you know, I said earlier about my dog who went on doggy death row and that.
Yeah, this is
And then
an interesting story.
Man, yeah, that was an attempted murder case, and what it was, certain people come to the house thinking they're big. I ain't gonna say his name, but you know, that big boxer guy with the thick black eyebrows, and he's got a cousin. Yeah, I took his missus's virginity, by the way. But yeah, fucking, you see, my man, that's when they come up here after we had a little battle on the co-op garage forecourt when me and my brother had to go to work on this big stupid cunt. And then, but yeah, you see that house over there, that's where you was. I ain't gonna say too much, but Roller was about this street at one point, you know. My man, what's that wording you said, Roller? Homage, bro.
I pay homage.
My man didn't pay homage one time, man. He had to get called up on that, man. No, Ragabit, he's a good-hearted man. But anyway, moving on from that, that's when them man come down here and, you know, thought they could come banging on our mother's door. Well, we don't like such fucking behaviour. So therefore, you know, we come out and we got to work. We had it. I had it with my man, the big guy. We had a weapon each, bro. He got bossed the fuck up, split up, arms hanging off, everything. Man was on the floor near the trampoline, which was here. I'll show you now.
This is it, yeah?
This is the one, man. Oh, they've even changed the fucking gate, look. This is 83 Stratford Avenue, man. See this railing, that was from my mum. Right. There's 83 Stratford Avenue, that was my bedroom. And that one there, that was my mum's. There's the living room. You see I told you about the castle? Yeah, look, brother. You see that new cement, look, on the top window? See that top window there, look? In that castle. You see how they had to fill it in, look? You see how the crack goes all the way from the top? All the way there, look, you see how they've had to re-cement it, and that was me with a bolt action. I told you, allegedly, they said that, you know, I stuck a bolt action rifle out my mum's window, she didn't even know. I said, right lads, watch this. Shot at Jane McLean and that. Bang! Tried to shoot this dove. I hit the dove in the fucking head, but it hit the castle as well, look, and it split it all the way to the top, man. My mum was going mad, she was like, Robert! I'm like, calm down, mum, calm down, it's alright, so, you know.
So
but anyway,
where's the spot look, where old Reggie Roo's buried?
See here, yeah, there was my granddad's tree here. Previously there was, hey Sham, what was it, my brother? Was it a plum tree, bro? Yeah, plum. But yeah, man, you see here, man, like, there was a plum tree here, and it was my granddad mixing it. I told you he was a boxer, he's the one who got me into boxing. He had a plum tree there. We got Reggie Cray, he got put on doggy death row when we had that battle, man. Like, boom, had a sick battle, like, my man.
You say he was a Rottweiler?
He was a Rottweiler, man, and we called him Reginald Cray. And he went on doggy death row. The police took him with an attempted murder charge. And he didn't come back for about 5 or 6 months. And when he come back, he was like half his fucking body weight, my man. My man was a machine. Like, trust me, do you know what? He bit 13 man with me. He had 13 man. You see when I got that boxer on the floor here? My man ran round the back, he didn't bite his leg, yeah? He grabbed his neck and started reversing like he was an Arctic truck, bro. Dragging my man while he's gargling. Right, anyway, and that's not cool, by the way. I'm a reformed character now, man. I'm just talking about past fun times and that, what we can reminisce on. And he was reversing, dragging my man up here. Anyway, he got took for that. He come back 5 or 6 months later, half his body weight. My mum got him back up to fighting fitness within 4 weeks. He was on more, man. I'm an 8th German as well. So it's like I had a German, Rottweiler, and he was a loyal comrade. You see that day when he come out there, there's something on my start. We had a mate called Marv, man. I know he was a little junkie cunt, but he was always loyal. Yeah, I know he was a little junkie, but he always, you know, never let man down. So, you know. But anyway, I said, yo, get my Rottweiler out. And my man's gone and got the Rottweiler out. He said, Rob, I don't want to. Reggie's an animal. And Reggie just grabbed him by the fucking scruff, chucked him on the floor, and ran out of here, mate. Even though Marv was the one who went to get him out. Marv opened the gate with my Rottweiler, just grabbed him, dashed him on the deck, fucked him out the way, like, where's the big boys that come out and got to work? And he's buried there. My brother's dog, Troy. He was a lovely dog, Trojan Troy. And yeah, he's buried there as well, but the cunts have fucking moved my granddad's plum tree and But yeah, and also, mate, here's where I got shot as well. Outside here, there was when I come out the door, I come out the gate, walked left here, it was over here, and then as I come out the gate here, there was crafty guys, you know. Because as I come out, I took the left walking like this here, literally right here, man, and them cunts had turned round in the cul-de-sac there. And what they'd done is they turned round because they wanted to hit the wood after. So they've come up the fucking road, and as they're on the motorbike, luckily they had a rocky driver. So as I fucking walked here like this, I've heard it, and all of a sudden I heard it, because the cunt had fucked up and stamped on the brake.
And whereabouts roughly were they?
Right, so they was coming up here, yeah, and they was about literally here at the time, yeah, and then I'm about here, but they stalled it there. So as he stamped on the brake by mistake. So as I'm walking like this, he stamped the brake and I've turned round and then he let it go. And then it's gone bang, like, you know, I reckon I got shot twice, so it was in and out all for everything. Because as I turned, it licked me in my leg here. And then luckily bio and that's got rid of that, but it come out the side there, bounced off the brain, come out the side, then threw my toes in on the floor. So what I'd done is I turned round, I thought I've got to get this gun. So I turned round, ran at the bike, and literally my fingers brushed the burner. But I thought they're gonna let it go again and I'm gonna get one in my face. So I swerved at the last minute, jumped the fucking gate here, and I thought they're gonna let it go at the door. If I run to the door, them man are gonna, if I was them, I'd just wait till he runs in the doorway, bang, get him again. So I ran towards that hedge, because me and my brother used to play in the garden and jump through there as kids. So I thought, oh no, you know, I'll run towards there. But at the last minute I thought, I need something to retaliate. So I turned at the last minute and then ran in the fucking door. And then obviously when I got through the door, I'd gone in, my mum was like, Robert, what's up? I said, Mum, don't worry about it, I've just been shot. I said, listen, I've got to go out and address the situation further. She was like, but Rob, there's blood squirting all out your trousers. I was like, oh, Mum, come on, man. Anyway, they'd gone off in that time. And they'd took the bike through the woods and burnt it out in Manchester. And I knew, because we got a friend, me and my brother, who was a taxi driver. He was like, yo, these men had dumped a bike down in Manchester. They burnt it there and got into a safe house down there. And yeah, that was the shooting, man. Anyway, I was in there and I've showed you a video of when I got shot, but you'll have to put some, you know, little bits of that up for the people. Because what it is, I want this as an awareness video. You see all this, it might sound like I'm just running wild saying this happened, that happened, but I want you to know, little old Atherstone can be a dangerous place, no matter where you are. Anywhere can be the gutter. And even in connections, I had a case where I was on bail for some CS gassings where a guy got paid to do me in. Well, I seen him on the Coastal Road, CS gassed him, smashed him in, dragged him down the canal, fucked him up. He's dead now, but his second name was Mess, I won't say his first one. But because he's dead now, so I have respect. And but yeah, I'd seen him on the Coastal Road, CS gassed him, fucked him up. Anyway, I was on bail for that. And then all of a sudden my mates come up to my missus' yard at the time. I was going out with a girl called Lauren, I won't say her surname. But yeah, I was going out with her, I had her legs up, pounding away. All of a sudden, bang, bang, bang. I'm like, oh, who's interrupting me, man? Giving her 50 of the best. And anyway, all of a sudden, she's like, oi Rob, it's Gaz. I said, what's up, Gaz? There was like, you see them money you see it's gassed and you're on bail for? They've just grabbed me in town, put a knife to my throat. I dropped down, rolled to the side and ran up and got you. I said, right, here's a knife. We're going to go down there now. I'm going to get the cunt on the floor. I know where his missus lives. I'm on bail for doing him in. I said, I'm going to get him on the floor and you're going to stab him in the legs, yeah? Well, my mate was pissed up at the time. I took a golf club because I was on bail, so I get him the diver's knife. We've gone down there, bang, bang, bang on the door. All of a sudden his missus like, Rob, he's getting some weapons now, he's coming to get you. I picked her up, threw her over this van. She landed on her face. I said, tell him to hurry up then. And it was down St. Benedict's Close. Anyway, he's come running around the corner a couple of minutes later with this hammer. He's got a couple of men with some pieces of wood with him. All of a sudden I said to Gaz, I'm leaning on the club, don't run, wait a minute. When he comes, he's a big lanky cunt, I'm going to step into the alley and he's going to take it wide. I'm going to smash him around the edge of the club, get him on the floor and you poke him up. He said, all right, Rob. So anyway, I stepped and like true it was, he actually took it wide. So I smashed him around the edge of the golf club, took the hammer off him, chucked it, and then I got him in this bush on the back way. I was poking him in the face with a bus bit of club. My brother come in doing a little bit, well, he was only a babbit at the time, bless him. And my mates come in, stabbing at my man in the bush, so I'm on top of him and he got my leg by mistake. And that's how I got actually stabbed on the back way. Yeah, and you know, it's real, man. And he actually got me by mistake. and I was bleeding out. I didn't even feel it, so I'm smashing my arm, and then all of a sudden the old bill pulled up. I've ran round the corner and I started getting dizzy. I look behind me, there's a trail of blood. All of a sudden I'm like, yo, I'm getting dizzy, boys. I've got a spliff in my pocket, can you roll it for me? I need to sit down. And I sat down, and then all of a sudden that was it. Like, my mate shoved his thumb in my leg, 'cause he was at the Territorial Army. My mate who stabbed me by mistake shoved my thumb in my leg, shoved it up my artery and saved my life, stemmed the bleeding. I had 2 blood transfusions on the way to the hospital.
You said you'd lost 4 points, yeah?
4.5 points. I had 2 blood transfusions on the way to the hospital, and I lost over 2.5 points in the shooting as well. And yeah, I went to jail, but my point was, there's a video in Connections about crime in Atherstone. This is what can happen. They bring the TV in on the trolley and that, and they're saying, look kids, this can happen even in Atherstone.
Use your footage.
Use my footage, so something good come out of that. You see what, that was a bad, negative situation, and I got 3 years for it after. And I actually went to jail with my mate who stabbed me and protecting him in jail when he was getting bullied and that.
How long total have you spent in jail, Rob?
Just about 2 years behind the door.
So for your career
I've done
as
good,
criminal,
mate. Fantastic.
You've done fairly well. And
fairly well? I'd say fucking excellent, my friend. You see what, bro? I got 2 strike firearms ban. So if I get caught with a mash again, it's 99 years behind the door. I had to sign a thing. So I've done really well. And the last time I went to jail,
IPS, indefinite prison.
No, it was 099. You know, at the time there weren't no IPP when I got
IPP,
that. Yeah, there weren't none of that. But
what does that stand for, IPP?
Basically, you've got to stay in pen, mate, if you get let out. Yeah?
And you have to do all these courses to get out, but you've got to do one at one place, and then they make you go to another place to do the other course. Basically,
and
they never get out. Yeah.
After I'd got out on that case and all that, but I was only out 4 weeks. Yet again, I was banging my bird in the bedroom. All of a sudden, the police had come. I'd had a fight with a geezer at Westwood Crescent Park where he tried pulling my missus when I was in jail. So I fucked him up, got him on the floor, and I made him kiss my trainer. And he was like, in front of about 20 people, stupidly. I was only out of jail 4 weeks. And then he kissed me. He said, Rob, I can't kiss it because like you'll kick me in the face. I said, I won't. Well, he kissed it. I had brand new white trainers on, blood went all over it, so I had to fill him in. You know, and anyway, I got recalled for that. They come and nicked me in the bedroom. And I had to do 7.5 months behind the door for that. And my mum went to Labour Party because the conviction got overturned 2 months into my recall, but I was in jail for 7.5 months and they wanted me to stay in there for 9. Luckily, Mum went to a guy called Michael Redwood at the Labour Party and actually come to HMP Glen Parva, 10 Tigers Road, LE 1840N is the postcode. My prison number at the time was MA5229. And my mum luckily got him and he come to the prison and got me out. I'd just been sentenced to the block after having a fight with a lad in Nottingham called Onsworth. I fucked him up on the fire road in between unit 8 and 15. And I've just been sentenced to the block, so I'm wounded. All of a sudden they come in and they say, right, we've got some bad news, you need to speak to the governor. I'm like, don't tell me it's my mum. I've gone in there, it was like, you've got to leave now. Michael Edwards come to the prison. You've got to go. I was like, open the fucking door then, and that was it. And I got let out. And yeah, man, but like, there's a lot of battles that's happened up here. You know that black guy I told you about? Biggest guy I'd ever fought in my life, mate. My old man, trust me, I swear to God, he was his twin brother, you know. Anyway, my mate was in here, he was on a double date thing, we'd just come back from an eating, and I'd had a big fight in Wing Mars, but don't worry about that, that's nothing.
That used to be the spot back in the day, Wing Mars.
Trust me, man, I had to smash them up. Anyway, but I got done for that as well. But like, all of a sudden, yeah, I was in a double date, and we got there, and all of a sudden, my mate's phone's rang, he's like, oi Rob, there's this guy threatening my missus, he knows where my missus' mum works, it's at a chip shop, he's outside there now, he said, you can't get down here quick enough. I'm gonna fuck your mum up. I said, give me that phone. Nothing to do with me. I said, give me that phone. Got the phone, I said, oh you stupid cunt. I said, who's this? I said, my name's Rob Clark, I live at 83 Stratford Avenue, CV9, 2AN for your sat-nav. He said, right, I'm coming up there now. I said, right, leave her mum then, just come up here then. You know where I'm at? Anyway, true to his word, 10 minutes later, bang, 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 on the door. Mum's like, Robert, there's a big black man, I just opened the windows at the door. I said, fuck off in the kitchen, Mum, don't worry, I'll deal with this, you know what I mean, get the dinner on. I'll sort this. Anyway, I've opened the fucking door, the biggest guy I've ever seen in my life, mate. Built like a big shithouse, bald head. I've opened the door and he's like, what? And he's there with his bird, he's put his hand behind to get his tool out of his waist. I had this thing in my hand at the time. I've gone like that and I thought, if I go like that, I'm gonna hit the door frame, so I had to swerve it on a diagonal angle, stick it in his head, and then I pulled him in. And I got him in the cunt when his head come down, and I stuck it out of his head and chucked it in the living room. And then when I grabbed onto the, when the cunt got in the doorway, his head, when it went up, it smashed the lampshade on the ceiling. He was that fucking big, man. And anyway, I grabbed him, bit his ear off, started biting his face. He was like, you've got me. I said, I know I've got you. And I picked him up, ran outside, fucked him on his back. Anyway, his missus is out here running her mouth. My mum's just come out of nowhere, grabbed his missus by the hair, dragged her in the living room and shut the door. All I'm hearing is crash, bang, wallop. You got my mum going to work now.
So mum was involved in it all
man,
too?
Mum was a lovely lady. She weren't no criminal. My mum was the one. My mum was such a pure-hearted soul. I'm telling you now, like, rest in peace, man. I love it to bits. She was such a pure-hearted soul, and she thought that's to do with my son. So she just grabbed the missus, like, dragged him and fucking her up. Anyway, I've got my man on his back on the lawn here, yet again, Reginald Cray, rest in peace, Reg. My dog, man, he come running out, mate. Chomped my man doing his bit again. Anyway, my man's got up, he's staggering here. Obviously, hold on to the gate. His missus come out looking like she's been fucking dragged for a jungle. My mum went to work. Anyway, she's come out like, what? And he's walked down here. And he got literally just back past that fence there, and the neighbours heard him say, his missus was like, oi, why didn't you do him? He said, I fucking tried to do him, but he'd done me, I'm not pressing charges. Then he went down again through loss of blood, and then all the ambulance come and forensics, and because his missus was like, yo, it's 84 Stratford Avenue, but that's down the road. You'd think 84 would be next to this or something. No, it weren't. So I was watching the forensics in a line, walked down here, I'm thinking, if they shine that torch at my door, there was puddles of blood on the grass and all over the gate. I'm thinking, man's in a bit of trouble here, but luckily the neighbours had heard him say, I tried to do him and that's it, he done me, it's over. And then I don't know what happened to my man. If you see this, bro, shout out you, I'll buy you a pint one day, bro.
The Clark brothers are just the Clark brothers.
There's been a few situations on the street over the years.
Definitely.
Has it been quite entertaining for you?
Very entertaining, and it's very quiet now.
Do you have a favourite story that you'd maybe be able to share?
I think actually was when Cooey's fridge had broke, and you'd put it on the front garden, and then Rob hit it, and the gases all went off, and it was chasing me round the garden. Do you remember that, Rob?
Yeah, I do, Sam.
Where it was running and running.
I think you meant about the battles and that on the street, Sam.
Oh, the battles! Oh my God, there was plenty of them. Especially when we had we had someone, unwanted people come up here and...
Lived next door, didn't they, Sam?
Yeah.
They were the Coventry guys, you know, when I turned around and said to my Rottweiler,
yeah, and
oh, he read your outnumbered here, let's go, lad.
Yeah.
He gave his dog a little
and
war
he went,
speech
the dog
out,
went to prison for quite a bit, didn't he?
Is that why he was on death row for?
Yeah, that was the other one, yeah.
That's when the kids looked out.
Yeah.
That's when the kids looked out and we had to say, oh, they're only playing armies.
You had a dog off us, didn't you, Sam? Just to add to it.
I did, our Fernie.
Rest in peace, Fern.
I've still got her.
She's still alive?
No, she's up top of the garden with a collar. She's there.
She's been gone some years now, hasn't she?
Yeah.
Sam, how many times has this street been taken? Unfortunately, and I was never about, it was never bad lads, was we? There's just people who come up here for the war, they got it. Do you know what I'm saying?
People
if they
come up here to cause the trouble, and the trouble is, you weren't going to stand there and let it.
Never. The amount of time I've had this street taped off, man. But it's not for our problem. It's for people coming up here, thinking they can attack my mum's house or where we're at. We ain't having that.
But you were quite free with your address, weren't you?
Everybody knew. I'd put it online and that. Like any enemies, I ain't got to look for you if you just knock on my door. You get me? I can beat a case as well if I nearly kill you because it's self-defence. So yeah, knock on my door.
It was just,
You know what I mean,
yeah. It was, yeah.
Good times, isn't it, Sam? Happy days, man.
Happy, yeah. It's been nice.
But I'm glad I've changed my life and that now. Sam's been brilliant. Sam was like one of my mum's best friends. Sam's like, been there after my mum died.
I've got no best friend now.
I know,
I'll go and see her tomorrow, because tomorrow is the day that his mum was the best friend I've ever had. She was my only best friend and I miss her so much. To this day, even now, she was just the funniest person. Called her Cooey and she was always slapping Rob around the head because no matter what time she cleaned that floor, he walked in and that's it. She had him with the mop. She always had him.
Time she was a good cleaner. She used to clean items for me. So she's like, Robert, the forensics, you know. I mean, I'm not a criminal.
Much like Robert, you, so you keep your house nice, don't you?
She does, yeah. But my mum, that's why my mum got on with Sam so much, right? Because these two were like two peas in a pod.
Yeah.
Like, you see, Sam's pad, she had immaculate and that. And like Sam just said, me and Sam was traipsing through there. Yeah, mum was pissed. Yeah.
Even when I was with you, Uncle Gaz.
Film, give us another look. We're going to have to move on and get the rest of this video filmed anyway, my darling. But thank you for being in the video, Sam.
Adam.
Thank you, Sam.
I'll tell my mum to give you a shout. Come up to Lincoln.
Yeah,
that's my mate. Oi, Roller, get Lucky here, look.
Go on, man.
You see Locker, man. You see him as a good lad, you know, man. When he come round, him and Dave used to sort, man, 3 beers and that. These man are cool boat and the nose for a time. He's a good man here, man.
Cheers, Lucky, man.
Thanks, Lucky.
Just walking down Erdington.
Yeah, you see this way here, yeah?
Good little alleyway just down here on the
Funny
left.
you should say
a lot
this,
of business, I'm guessing, went down
A
in
lot
this
of
area.
business, bro. You see this bridge down here, yeah? It's bachelor's bench down here. I'm going to tell you a couple of stories quick. As you see down here, yeah? Right, there's a bridge here. We used to get bear man on there. There used to be crowds of them waiting to get sorted and that. And we'd all get them down on the bridge and various other spots. And you see down, you know, I said about a crop and all that, bro, down on a lane. Well, as you go over this bridge here, on the right, there's some factories. And they had £1.5 million worth of bud in there. And my brother was in the pen at the time. And so I went round to one of his mates. I'm like, yo, come with me, quick. I've got the drop on this grow. I said, I know a gardener, man. He said, there's bare plants in there and that. I said, let's go round there and smash the door off and grip it up. Anyway, we've gone round there, yeah. I couldn't get a ringer that night. So I said, fuck it, I'm not leaving it, man. I'm going on foot. We'll take as much as we can carry. Anyway, we've gone round and that. And we got there and we jumped over the wall and we see these cameras, yeah. We've got valleys on and that. And my mate's gone up to it. And he's gone to cut the fucking CCTV cord, man. On the cameras. I'm like, you stupid cunt, you get electrocuted. I'm not, behave. Anyway, he's tried getting in the front bit and he couldn't get in. I said, I know a door out on the back, you know. I used to play in the Westwood Crescent Park as kids. And so we went round the back and there was this old door they didn't want to touch. So I'd smashed through this old door, got in and there was like panels, bro, yeah. And then all of a sudden, right, I'm like, right, I shone the torch through it, all you could see was heads on heads on heads, yeah. I mean, like, you know,
ready to go.
Ready to go, bro. I'm telling you, it was in flush in this bit where I got through. And anyway, it was better than you think Pineapple Express is good. That was a nursery. Like, anyway, it was this factory down here. And anyway, I've all of a sudden shone the torch through the crack in these panels after I smashed the door out. And I pulled this plant. I was pulling it. It was just colas like that, motherfucker. Swear to God, my guy. Like colas like this, cunt, and I'm pulling it. The plant pot hit the fucking the gap in the panels. Anyway, I've smashed the panels off. All of a sudden, we're cutting, bagging. Tried them doors there first. The cameras was up there, and then all of a sudden we cracked that a little bit. We couldn't get all the way in. I'm like, come on, we'll go around the back where the old door is. And then we went round there and got in, and that's when we seen it all, man. Anyway, I was chucking it over there, but this is the place where it was in the paper. They said that it had £1.5 million worth of bud. Well, I could only carry about 20 G's worth, man. My mate was a div.
That is the average amount that one man can carry.
You get me, bro, in bin bags, yeah? We've got 4 bin bags, yeah? 2 bin bags a piece, yeah? Right? And chucking them over the fence at Westwood Crescent. My man got it, yeah? I only gave him like about over a quarter's worth of the overall money out of it, man. There was about 20 grand in it, man. But you know what? When them guys come and done it after they'd heard about it later on, they nicked a load of immature bud. They'd harvested the rest, what was ready for bud, and they'd harvested it thinking, rather would have been jacked. Cutting a load of plants down, had immature bud on. They didn't hit the jackpot like me.
Yeah, you got it at the perfect time.
Yeah, and they was all running through these gardens over here, but yeah, this is the factory anyway. All of a sudden, yeah, we're cutting and bagging. So me and my man cutting, bagging, got them in bin bags. I said, right, listen, in case anyone comes, yeah, we're going to check them down past this ditch, yeah, and we're going to fuck them into Westwood Crescent, because if any cunt comes, I ain't running with bare bin bags on me, you get me? I want some safe. So we've chucked them over the fence, All of a sudden we heard smash across the other side of the grow room. All of a sudden I heard a dog bark and a guy say, it's the police, leave. Little didn't I know at the time it was the Polish guys who were paid to protect it. I didn't know at the time. And so them smashing bulbs and that. And all of a sudden, yeah, I said, right, to my man, let's grab a bit more, then go, was them coming across the floor. Gone across the floor, bro, he said, please, jumped over the fence, bro, got the bags on bats, ran up the wood, hid them in some bushes near the level where we'd just been. And then, you know, all of us, these man's dogs was running round us and all that. Anyway, I told some people about it. I was like, yo, you want to buy some bud? Yo, got some, you know, bang. I was like, yo, was that from up near the factory? Some people, neighbours heard it and that. I said, yeah. Well, anyway, these men had tried hitting it. Well, the Polish were waiting with shotguns this time, blasting at them and that. And they scattered, run, jumping, they got, it's all in the paper. Like, you know, Rolly, you'll have to get this on the clip, yeah?
There was someone I know who alleged that he shot at someone off this bridge down that way, so I don't know if that's connected or whatever.
That must have been a different time, but you see, this time, there was some little dibs who'd heard about it. My brother was in the penner at the time, so I had to get like a couple of spastics to come with me, but I thought, who cares? Even a mule is not clever, but it can still carry your cargo. So therefore, come follow me, you dopey cunt, carry my cargo. So anyway, done that, and these men tried doing the same. As they've done it, the police are standing there waiting.
Rob's not happy with the way the film is going.
He's got it cracking, so therefore shout out Rolly. Yeah, I was pissed off then. But anyway, yeah. Anyway, Plan B family. Yeah, call me Ben Drew, right? And anyway.
And it was about what the mockery attempt was after you had done it on the night time.
Yeah.
Some people come returned in the day.
They did, yeah.
Rummy geezers, Eddie Gee.
They did, yeah. You get me. Shout out the Cripple crew.
Zap.
Yeah. Shout out the Cripple gang, the Claustrophy Bag crew.
Can you tell me about this story? Because that's
yeah.
That is
Which
the same
one?
story.
well, there's two that I really want to hear about.
One,
The one is the Badgley robbery, and the first one is the fucking Atherstone landscapes.
You know what? I'm going to give you the Badgley one first.
Atherstone landscapes robbery, man.
Oi, listen, let me bust that down for you.
Okay,
Badgley robbery, man. Yeah. Oi, hold tight, you man. You know you are, man. Oh yeah, and I'm going to tell you a quick story now. My man giggled when I told him this story now. Right, anyway, I was in my mum's yard at the time, yeah. I've been grabbing off this guy for a bit, yeah. Shout out the Brummy guy. Shout out Brummy Jizzy. You know what I mean? You know the one. Shout out my man who won the 2022 bowl game. Keep it real, Mr. Sheldon, yeah. Anyway, I heard the drop on it. I said to my mate who's a junkie, you know, even though he's a junkie, man, yet again, you know, junkies are coming hand in hand again, man. You know, anyway, I said, like, look, man, come and lick this razor with me. There's a guy called Stu, man. I won't say his surname, but Stu, you know, shout out you, my man. And then, anyway, I said, right, come with me. My brother couldn't come. He was on a different vibe at the time. He was doing something else, yeah. And then, so I took my man Stu with me. We've gone over to Badgley. I got told, right, all it is, I got to boot the door off, and then bang, grab the man's, just, you know, restrain them and that, and relieve them of their goods, yeah. I'm thinking, buzzing, let's lick it. Anyway, gone over and done it. I went and scored off the guy earlier in the day, yeah. He met me at the bottom of Keys Hill. My man's met me, I was wearing the same clothes. At night I was like, right, I'm going to go and lick the urner. And then I went and done it in the same clothes, yeah. Gonna lick it, the man stood, booted the first door off. And then all of a sudden, I didn't even get told about the secondary door. But before that, Stu was looking through the window, he was like, oh, his missus is asleep on the sofa. I'm like, don't worry, she'll run off, man. She'll run off screaming, but let's just grab these, man, and get the goods, yeah. And anyway, all of a sudden I booted the first door off, gone to get the second one, and all of a sudden there's another door. I was like, fucking hell, man. Anyway, I got the door handle like that, and my mate Stu, fair play to him, he put his arm through trying to open the door. It was Josh or Jay, stabbed him in the hand, yeah, in between the fingers. He jumped back screaming, I'm like, get out of the way, because they're going to lock the door. You know, fuck this, I ain't come all this way for nothing. And I borrowed my dad's Mitsubishi at the time. He used it to deliver the holding tanks, man. He said, Rob, just cover the number plate, yeah? You can ram raid anywhere you want, as long as the tow bar's still on to pull the trailer for the holding tanks, and as long as like the engine's still running. We're sound, Rob. He said, apart from that, we're good, you can borrow it as much as you want. I said, nice one, Dad. I parked it down at the end of the road. Anyway, all of a sudden, his missus on the sofa. I'm like, right, get out of the way. He's got poked in the hand, as I said. Then all of a sudden, I had to wedge my head in the door booster trying to shut the second door. I was wedging my head in the door to get my breath. And all of a sudden, I had a couple of seconds breath, then just got through the door, and then I had to leave my man outside. I had to elbow the door shut behind me. And I'm having a knife fight with both of them. They're both swinging blades at me and all that, moving out the way. I got my man who won the ball game, and he showed a bang. He screamed like a bitch, dropped his knife, ran off up the stairs, screaming, "Ah, phone the police, get the dog." And all of a sudden, this other man who swung the knife at me, shout out Jane, he swung the knife at me and all that, man, and I just grabbed it out of his hand. He was in a nightie, man. Fuck knows why he had all the grub in his nightie. But like all of a sudden, he dropped on the floor, screaming, I'm like, where's the food, bro? So I had to shut the door behind me while I was having a knife fight with him. Anyway, he's like, oh, got it here, Rob. All some bump hit the floor. Nice little, yeah, mad chunk of yeah. I'm like, woo-wee, you've been a busy boy, ain't ya? Anyway, I've opened the door then, said to my mate Stu, come in now, bro, don't worry, I've sorted them all out, get in here. He's come in. And then all of a sudden, yeah, I'm like, right, let's go, man. And the Jeep was parked, the 4x4 was parked down the end of the road. Anyway, he's like, Rob, there's loads of them outside. I said, what's this? Watch and learn, my friend, what's this? I've opened the door, yeah, and I'm like, please, get the fuck on the floor. All of a sudden, they all jumped out of the way, yeah, for a split second, and the geezer was like, hey, please don't wear balaclavas and that. I was like, ha, get out of the way, you want to move out of the way, you mug. Anyway, I thought Stu was behind me. My man was still in the house, shitting it. Like, wouldn't come out the pad, so I didn't even know. I'd got to the 4x4 thinking, where's my man? I've got to go back for him. So I thought, I'll give him a minute. I've waited another couple of minutes, and then all of a sudden, he got to the Mitsubishi, and he's like, oh, Rob, there was loads of them, like, you know, how come you don't? I said, look, come on, just get in, let's go. Anyway, we got back to base and all that, man, and I said, you're still having half of it, even though you're a faggot. I said, because I know them guys kidnapped you, man, the other month and that. them brummy guys like that, them brummy geezers, man, who was torturing you in that flat. And I know you owe him a lot of money, so I tell you what, you're still having half of it because you come with me. Fair play to you, my man. And I still
didn't deserve it, but you still blessed him.
It, but I thought, you know what, I'm a fair guy. I thought, you know, he took his time to actually come and put, you know, the work in. And even though I sorted it, I thought I'm a fair man. And yeah, that was a good raise, man. It come back lovely. I ate a lot of bread off that, man. Come on then, bro. Yo, here's my man, Rolly.
Shout out, Sicker Studios anyway, sent me some fucking free t-shirts.
Free merch and that, you get me?
Easy real soon, so I'm going to put his links down below, go support his business.
Roller, what platforms can you find him on, bro?
He's on Instagram, he's also got his own webpage.
Love it.
He works with people, does videos, he's got mad skills with the editing and that.
Love it. What's his name again, Roller, man?
Sika, so S-I-K-A, that's that.
Hey, check Sicker out, man. Real talk, check him out, man. Check the merch and that, man.
Real street where he works with graffiti artists. There's just been a drop from Tempo. It's like a big name in Birmingham. On the bridge in Westwood where I used to fucking walk to school. That's Arden Hill over there. That's where I grew up.
Through them trees, man.
It's a primary school, you know, obviously. Man like us, we're certain we can be within 100 yards. You get
Trust me, when I thought you meant about ops and that. Is that we can be within 100 yards, you know. Oi, shout out, Roller.
Restrictions on my account, brother.
Yes.
But what do you think in the sun? Oh, yeah, boom.
Anywhere you want, but remember there's a camera up on the top right.
No one watches that, bro.
Yeah, you're right. The amount of times we've run over here.
I'm quick anyway. It'll only take me about.
I'd just like to try and do it clean for the good guys, man.
Yeah.
Me and Sham are all right. We know how to. Yeah. Roller's artistic graphic designer. Coming through here, lit up your girl's vagina.
I ain't gonna lie, that looks like you've run that same red line through it.
Good lad.
Yeah, I'll integrate that. That's where we'll do the little blend, isn't it?
Yes.
Bob Ross, a little happy mistake.
Jesus.
I definitely weren't planned, innit? My dad didn't want me.
Come on, lad.
Mistake.
Love it.
I was pure lust, no contraception. My nanny was a prostitute.
Yeah, yo, Nanny, listen, he loves you though. He's been bigging you up, you know. Nanny loves you, you know.
Nanny was there to take me to the fair. Austin Bars.
Hey, look how he's singing, yeah, spraying. Boss it down, why is the O.D.C there, brother?
Because we're with ordinary decent criminals.
Saying nothing.
I like to think that I'm that too, you know.
You are, man.
I'm always polite to the police. You know what we were talking about earlier, you don't do no comment, you got to give your narrative, but just put your own little flavour on the story.
Trust, man.
And treat them like normal people, that goes a long way. If you're an actual criminal and you're trying to get away with shit, yeah.
Sham's even
Just
trying,
be
I ain't going
nice.
to put his face in it, but I'm going to flick it on his work in a minute.
Just be nice and cordial and that.
Yes,
I like how
brother,
Sam
lad.
don't even ask if he can borrow paint, he just
Bro.
takes it.
Even though we're brought with manners. We're nice. No, he's nice, he don't care. You're good. At the end of the day. I see that. I see that.
Recession, everything else has got expensive, yeah, but spray paint stayed reasonable. That right there, people, is called a pink dot.
Right.
Now put that on the cap, get the black, that's what you want.
The black up.
Where is it?
Where's the black? Here it
You
is,
got
boy. What's this one?
That's a fresh one, there was one that's already
where's
open.
your
innit?
one?
Fuck it, we use this.
Is it in your bag though? No, what's up on there?
No, this is it.
There's one in there.
Yeah, I used this, I didn't realise. Now have a go with that compared to what you was just doing a second ago,
Right,
rude
let's
boy.
have a bang with this, bro.
OG Clark, yeah, nice and skinny, yeah, that's all you want to do.
Nice
Skinny
and
and
rude
small,
boy.
innit? That when you're starting out, yeah, you should do
Yeah?
your letters small, yeah,
No,
not
you're
too
telling me,
small.
bro, yeah?
I'm telling you,
Alright,
respect
mate, yeah?
and try not to go over anyone else. Like that's the
Right,
rule.
yeah? Right.
So like basically, boom, there to.
Yeah, if you're demanding for
No, you got to have
You know
respect.
what, brother? I love you, yeah, so I'm gonna listen to it, yeah, right, but you know what, brother? I'm normally like, fuck everybody, but you know what, for you, I'll just do it like that.
Learn game and then be fuck everyone, innit?
Yeah.
Oh, in fact, fuck everyone. Right over them straight away, bro. Get on it. Do your thing, bro. Because it's already too late. Smoko. I'm sorry, bro. Rob Clark. Rob Clark. Oh, you won't beef at Clarky, bro. Just, he's at 82 Stratty. Yeah, just go there and rock up.
83 rude boy.
Just go there and shout Rob Clark 3 times, he'll appear.
It's like Candy Man.
It's like the Beatles.
It's like an avalanche. Trust me.
A-Town.
Look in the mirror, bro. Say it 3 times, man. And even when I'm scared, I'm coming, man.
He's got hands, but he's not got graffiti hands. He's still got to learn these hands.
You see my hands? My hands are like bang, or like yo.
Right, let me show you.
Come on.
Let me show you a real hand style now, Rob. Yeah.
Come on, then. Oh, God, showing off, mate. What? Yeah. Without the E. There's no E on Clark. Just do a full stop at the end.
Clark with a K, is it then?
Yeah. Oh, you did it with a C, rude boy. Love it. That'll do now. Scribble that.
Ah, Clarky. No, because it's Clarky, bruv.
No, but that's a what? Yeah,
Yeah, but it
Well,
rhymes, isn't it? Yeah. Alright, we'll do a better one, look.
Come on. Well, look at you, my guy. Got a young blood over there beating it off. Yeah. What?
Then
Certified.
what is it? TCB.
Go. The Clark brothers, man. You get what? Come on.
Got a quick little O.D.C for the step back a little bit so we can see that. See you later, bro. There you go. Told you I was Tarantino. Look.
Sure.
Not the only one recording at the minute though, that's the only problem, so I think we need to...
It's not a problem, we're famous, bro, don't worry about it, man.
We'll just mooch on down to the next location. Got the Westwood football courts in the background there.
Trust me.
Legendary spot.
Their fights happened in that part, man.
I was just thinking like bare games of foosball.
Oh, right, yeah, well, that as well.
I played on the little helicopter.
Yeah,
that was me,
yeah,
man.
trust me, it was bad boy when it first came out, man.
Yeah.
What do you want, man? What do you want?
How do you want to come across, Rob? How do you want to be seen? What do you want from this documentary,
listen, right, for the local Atherstone people, yeah, they'd check the local motherfucking papers, man. Like when they seen them, the local ads and all that, man, they seen about, man, in the paper for years. I was going to bring my documents today, which I'll do on the next one. And I got my documents, man, which go back to like 97, 96, man. We're in 2025 now. You're talking like a 29-year
stint of crime.
You understand? And it's like, all it is, yeah, is, you know, earlier, like, and my apologies to, like, you, Roller, yeah, my apologies to Bear and all that. You know what it is, yeah? It's about, look, I've just been talking straight gutter, but I ain't had a chance to get to look, but man's out the life now. Don't get it twisted, come check me. You think you're about it, I'll break you down like I'm working with fractions, I swear to God on my mother's name, who's dead a year tomorrow. But I just want the kids out there and that to know, look, man, I know, you know, I had that knife straight from my leg, I had the gunshot through the other shot, everything else going on, yeah? Not everyone's going to survive that. Not everyone's going to get the chance to come out the other end. It's alright saying, oh, Rob, I had a good stint, him and his bro done really well. That's cool, but you know, any one of them, you could have died. Your mum and dad would have been there identifying your fucking body at the morgue. If you're in jail, like me and our kid, it's your family who has to pay out their own pocket to send you postal orders. They have to have travel expenses. They have to travel across the country just to see you, right? So it ain't just you. Even if you can deal with it and you think, oh, that's cool, I'm coming out the other end, you fucking can't, mate. Even if you can, that means nothing, because your mum's going to have to pay the travel expenses. Your mum and dad's going to have to send you postal orders. That's going to come and see you. That's going to have the heartache. So it's not just about you.
The crime ain't worth it, like.
Not worth it, man. I'm telling you now, you know, years ago, you know, if you'd have said this to me 10 years ago, I'd be like, boys, I'll train you. I know every trick in the book. Don't let the system beat you. You see, nah, you're the cleverest guy, yeah? You're the cleverest guy if you can look at people like me, my brother in the firm, and everybody else,
that
right?
Ain't the life, yeah.
Roller, the camera's gone.
It's going. I'm listening, bro.
I'll try one last fucking time. Yeah, but basically, I know you might fucking think, yeah, that like, man, you're pissed now. No, listen, you know, basically, I know you might think that it's all cool and all that. It's not cool, even if you can get through it, man. You might die in any of them ones. Like, you see, when I got shot, I couldn't even see my own lad. You know why? There was like, why would someone even shoot at you in the first place? Do you know, man, had to do like parent training courses and all that, man, and all that sort of shit. And I was the one who got popped, and it don't pay off, man. Do you know how many times like our mum's door's been on the floor and all that? been upset. You realise how many times that's fucking happened, man? Like, you ain't gonna get through it like me and my brother. Like, trust me, if you do, your family's gonna have to pay for it, man. So I want to shout out Phil and Leanne as well for helping me on the legal path, man. They've been making sure, even when like man needs assistance and all that, like in the legal areas, man, they've helped man out. Like, and they've helped like my brother, you know, and the family, that they've done what they needed to do. It's like George, shout out George, man. Paid for the flowers at our mum's funeral and all that, man. Didn't need to do that. Like, shout out Jod, he's a good clean-hearted brother, man. And shout out, you know, Jod. When you see this, Jod, give me a call. Like, shout out Blakeman. Hope you beat your cases and that, man. I know you're going through a bad time at the minute, man. Like, oi, T, in Birmingham as well, if you ever see this, man. Shout out T, Ennicksham. Remember T, bro? We're going to show you a picture of me and my brother and T in this club, good-hearted brother, man. You see what my dad always said to him? When I was young, he said, Rob, you're going to be a big fish in a small pond. I said, alright, Dad, I'll go over to Birmingham. So I went over there and made some fucking noise. Like, you know what I mean? So man had to go out the ends to do all that. We ain't going to be able to get through all that now, lads, trust me. But at the end of the day, man, I know everyone's going to have to deal with road situations and that. Everybody's going to, man. You can even be a one-punch killer. You can be a little faggot who ain't never fought before and some stupid cunt comes up. Try smacking, man. You turn around, give him the one bomb. You couldn't be that next one punch killer, you know. Just come and speak to men who have been doing it their whole life. Don't fuck up your own, man. Take them opportunities, man. Trust.
So there was another situation that you'd found yourself in a spot of bother for. Something to do with a grow shop robbery.
Yeah, well, what it was, there was a situation where it was the older mill. And it was down past shout out Eddie Geek's old flat, what was above the mayor, what used to be called the O.D.C. Well, it was past there, and there was a grow shop, and it was alleged, and by the way, this is all alleged, there's something I want to say. I'm not saying that I'm guilty of anything, I'm not saying that anything I'm saying is the truth on this occasion, but I'll give you an insight. Man got arrested for it, saying he got licked down. Little Bo got arrested, and it was alleged that we got a 4x4, rammed it through the gates, then rammed it through the shop. And then when we rammed it through the shop down at Older Mill, shout out Dazak, old type, the ginger dude, man who, you know, he's an Olympic diver, that's all I'll say on that. My man should have been an Olympic diver. But anyway, allegedly, it was that there was a 4x4 and it was rammed through the gates and through the shop. And then all of a sudden, they'd got some underground security apparently. Shout out Geek Security Limited, 0-star rating, yeah? And like, you know, they ain't getting no more clientele after this, yeah? So, man, I can't stop a fucking wet paper bag from going around the fucking head, mate, right? But anyway, that happened, and then a man got left in a wheelchair, and then the police said, oh, it was the Clark brothers. Then they reckon that a couple of them said that it was something to do with my bro, and the main guy that got hurt, he said, rah, it was Rob who ran me down. I was like, yo, how's it Rob who ran man down? Like, what, didn't they even have my face covered, officers? No. They was like, yeah, he said you was in a balaclava. I was like, well, how does he know that it was fucking me then? And how can anyone identify my brother either? There's loads of little stories what are cross-contaminated along the way, you know, like Chinese whispers. It all starts off around the truth and then it just gets bent, twisted, distorted the whole nine. But nah, there was the ram raid down there, and they shout out the old brother Geek, man. Hope you're all good, my man. Like, I got nicked for all that shit, and it weren't even me, my man. So did my brother.
Horrible when that happens.
I know it's horrible. Miscarriage of justice, yeah? Miscarriage of justice, right? But I hope you get better soon, man, and all the best to you, man. And shout out the police who done that. You know, I don't know why you thought that was me. I gave you my PlayStation account to prove that I was in the home, my PlayStation was turned on. So therefore, we'll put that to bed. But yeah, I got accused of that alongside my brother. And yeah, it's a shame, man. And there's a lot of other things. It's like when, you know, like my Rottweiler Reggie and that as well. Like, Rolla said to me earlier, he was like, remember when you gave your Rottweiler that speech? I was like, yeah, it's because I slapped some drug dealers what dropped a syringe on my street. And Rolla can vouch for that person because she's on camera as well earlier. Sam Pittman. She had a son called Alfie. He picked up a syringe in the street, took it back to his mother and said, Mum, I found something. Sam come over to me and my mum and that, crying. He's like, what's wrong? It's like, Alfie's just brought a syringe into me. And Peeps, who's dead now, I'm not going to slag him off, but that cunt was in debt when he was in jail and that, man. And he got someone to come out and pressure his missus to sell, to recuperate the funds off his debt. Anyway, all that was sorted, and that's where the drug dealers was operating from, opposite my mum's house. So obviously I went and slapped them, and then they said, yeah, we're phoning all the man up from Coventry. I spoke to them on the phone, I said, hurry up. They come down, bang, bang, bang on my door. And my mum's like, Robert, I just looked out the window. Bless her, she always done that. Rest in peace, mum, you know. I love you, mum, man. And, but anyway, she was like, Robert, you know, there's some guys. Anyway, I said, fuck up, go on, fuck up in the kitchen then, mum, I'm going to go to work. I got my Rottweiler out, I said, I looked at him, I said, Reg, I opened the window first before I went down and got Reggie out. I said, yo, how many of you are staying, who is it? He was like, yo, it's Big Mikey, and there's 6 of us, as well as me. I said, well, my name's Rob Clark, and there's one of me, and I'm coming out now. So I went downstairs, I grabbed what they called the shaft of life. It was a big shaft, yeah? It was like a farmer's tool.
Like a monk's spear?
Yeah, and it had like a scythe on the top. And anyway, I grabbed the shaft of life, gone and got my Rottweiler out. I looked at him, I said, Reg, we're outnumbered here, they've all got weapons, right? Let's engage in combat, my man. If not, we'll be accepted in Valhalla if we lose, yeah? Let's get out there and get busy, right? Me and my Rottweiler were going out there, chased them all down the street. There was like 6, 7 men with machetes and that. And so what I'd done, me and my Rottweiler just chased them all out, man. And I can remember Peeps on about it after. He was like, I spoke to him, I said, hey Peeps, what are you doing, man? After I slapped you and that, why you getting them, man? I said, look, they're dropping needles selling round here. You know that can't run round here, bro. He was like, oh, sorry, Rob, there was bullying me and all that. I told them you'd come out with something bigger than they've ever imagined, whether you're on your own or not. And he said, they want to kill me now, because I didn't give them the heads up. He said, I told them you'd come out with a tool and a half, and you ain't going to back down. So yeah, I ran them out the area. I've done a lot of wrong in my life, right? But you know what? It's only against criminals and so-called gangsters, yeah? You know you, man, you think you're so-called gangsters out there. I'm the man who used to beat your door off and get you on the floor and tell you why you're not a gangster. It's not the way to go, right? But I've done a lot of shit like that, you know. But do you know, it's all for the right reason, only against criminals. To the general public, robbers, what they call an O.D.C, ordinary decent criminal. No danger to the general public, but maximum threat to them wannabe gangsters. And that's why I've not got to feel bad about it. So I know there was a couple of safes and stuff, and there's a couple of armed robberies and a couple of bits and bobs, but there was no proper innocent parties. That was all against companies. You see, for general public, I'll help you across the road with your shopping. You think you can operate in the area selling to kids, or think you can do this and that, what's demoralising? I'll come make sure you realise you know what that is.
Rob,
alright?
thank you for your time.
And Rolla, listen to something I say. I want love to George, yeah? Love to John, love to Jod, love to T, love to, oh, shout out Fats though, who we spoke about. Hopefully he's going to give an interview. He come on a couple of moves with us, where we relieve guys of their product, man. Shout out the Incredible Amounts episode, which will come next time.
But yeah, there's going to be a follow-up. We've only told a fraction of the story. There's more to come.
And it's a year since Mum died tomorrow as well. Rest in peace, Mum. Love you, Dad.
And this video is going to drop tomorrow as a tribute to her, but rest in peace.
Thank
State
you.
her name, please, brother.
Her name was Rosemary Ann Deeming, and then when she married our dad, it was Rosemary Ann Clark.
And what did my Auntie Sam call her? What was her nickname?
Curry. Her nickname was Curry.
Kiwi.
And you know, love to my brother. My right arm never left my side. No matter how mad shit gets. Man stuck to me like a Siamese fucking twin.
Oh yeah.
Because our surname's Clark and that's our calibre of breed. And listen, we're going to get more with you on the next episodes.
That's it.
Rolla's going to introduce it. Thank you. Everyone take care. Remember, this life ain't for everybody. Learn off me and my brother and everybody else. Everyone take care. Love.